I know Minecraft 1.19 just came out, so I think it would be interesting to start thinking about what Minecraft 1.20 could be. There have been lots of clues that Mojang have gave us for what this update could be, such as bundles, which they said would be changed and moved from 1.17 to 1.19 and then back to 1.20, that they wouldn't be in the caves and cliffs, and they didn't include them in the wild update. So it's interesting what Mojang are doing with bundles, because we don't know. They haven't told us what they're doing with bundles, so that will be interesting to see what they're doing with bundles, but it's probably going to be in the 1.20 update, so that gives us clues about what could be in the update. And also the features in Minecraft in the other games. I think the only one though at the moment is Minecraft Dungeons, but the features in Minecraft Dungeons, you could think they could be added in 1.20, but I have got an idea, in fact 14 ideas of what 1.20 could be. 14 ideas for a Minecraft update. So the first idea is the heat update. Now it sounds a bit weird. I think the heat update would be a good way to combine the desert and the mesa biome, aka the Badlands, into one update and add new features to it, because the desert is full of just sand and cactuses. And I know that's what it's meant to be like, but it is a bit boring. And the mesa biome, aka the Badlands, is also like that. And I think it's just a bit boring. So I think it would be better if Mojang added something to it. And a lot of these updates are just biomes Mojang could update. And the second idea for an update is the Ender update. Because we've had Nether update recently, we've had updates in the overworld, but the end has been basically the same for quite a few years now. And the only reason you go to the end is to kill the Ender Dragon or to find loot in end cities. And even though it's meant to be like that, it's not meant to be a biome you use a lot, I think it could be improved, and there could be new features that could make the end a place where you'd want to go, and a place where you'd go a lot more often. There could be new mobs or new things or new biomes in the end, because there aren't really any biomes at the moment, and interesting things in the end. I can make a whole video just about the end update, talking about different ideas of what to put in the end, the update. And I could spend loads of time coming up with ideas for that. I might even do that, but it is a very interesting thing. And now moving on to my third update, which is the sky update. It sounds weird, but the sky is a bit boring. All there are clouds, and then there's the sun and the moon. But you can't actually go to the sun or the moon. They're just there in the sky. But no matter however much you fly, you'll eventually go to the limit and you won't be able to fly any further, and you can't get to the sun or the moon. And while it would probably take quite a lot of work, it would be very interesting if you could go to the sun or the moon and walk along the surface, and it probably shouldn't be really huge, but I think of 1,000 blocks maybe for the moon, just a small one, maybe not even that, and 10,000 blocks maybe for the sun. And I think they'd be really interesting to explore if Mojang added something in that, but I think that would mean there'd have to be more than one update on that, because that would probably take ages to do. I would understand if that would take ages to do. And also it'd be interesting if there'd be things in the sky and the of clouds, and really interesting, because at the moment they're not really good modes of transport. If we could have rockets to go to the sun or the moon, or planes to fly in the sky a lot easier, or hot air balloons, then that would be really interesting. I think that would be a really cool update. And if we could have areas in the sky, just small areas where there's some chests maybe. Even though it sounds weird, I think it would be really cool. And I think Sky Update would be really interesting, but it would probably be quite a lot of updates. Or it probably wouldn't have a sun and the moon, maybe just one of them, so it wouldn't be so hard to make. So moving on to number 4, that's a forest update. And that includes the taiga biome because that's technically a forest. There's a birch forest, there's oak forest, there's dark forest, all sorts of forests. It doesn't include the jungle one, though. That's another update. We'll cover that later, but a forest update, including all the types of forest and the taiga biome, would be really interesting because at the moment forests have, well, trees and trees laying on the ground, and they sometimes have villages, but I think it would be interesting if they had some more features, maybe some new mobs that are exclusive to forests, like foxes are exclusive to the taiga biome. Maybe you could add more to the taiga biome, ones that are exclusive to both forests and the taiga biome. You could add blocks, more reasons to go there, because at the moment the only reason you go there is to get wood. Well, basically, yeah. But I think there could be more reasons. And, as we were talking about the Ender update, I think number 5 would be the Aether update. That would be a really interesting update. I know the Aether update's all a mod and myth, and there are many mods based on it, and many fake videos on YouTube that claim to show you how to go to the Aether biome. They won't work. It doesn't work. You can't. But it would be very interesting if Mojang did actually create it. And we have the Overworld, which is a normal biome. The End, a really weird biome where you kill a boss. Nether, like the Minecraft equivalent of Hell. Is there the Minecraft equivalent of Heaven? Wouldn't that be interesting if we had something similar to Heaven that's really interesting, high in the sky and rivers floating and all sorts, and similar to what it's like in the videos of mods and stuff about the Aether. I think that would be cool. And number 6 is the Villager Update 2.0. As cool as the Village and Pillage update was 1.14, with new villagers, with roles. It was decent, but I think villages could be updated more, maybe modernized to look like cool modern villages. You could have villages and then modern villages, and the modern villages could be bigger and interesting, and maybe not just villages, maybe towns and cities, because Minecraft have shown they can build towns, while Mojang, because they made the ancient cities for the world update. So since they made that, maybe they can make it above the ground, but something more modern looking and spooky looking. I think that would be interesting. And number 7 is the Aquatic Update 2.0. That's the last 2.0 update, but I know the Aquatic Update was also recently, only a few years ago, but as cool as it was, there are more features Mojang could add to the oceans, because I think at the moment, the oceans, as good as they are, there aren't that many features to it. But if they could look like real oceans with all the scenery underground, I think that would look really cool. So I think the Aquatic Update 2.0 would be a cool update. And number 8 is the Java and Bedrock Parity update. While this would be a bit of a boring update because there wouldn't really be any new features, I think it would be cool to bring Java and Bedrock as close to parity as they can. But I don't think exact parity, like maybe for Java, still keep all the menus and stuff the same, or then it would just be boring. You'd either play Java or Bedrock. There'd be no reason to play the other. You'd just stick to one, usually, if they made it exactly the same. So then there would be no point in having Java if they made it exactly the same. You could just have Bedrock for devices. So I don't think they should make it exactly the same, but I think all those features that make it different, I think they should combine them together. All the Bedrock exclusives should be added to Java, all the Java exclusives added to Bedrock. And since there's not really going to be any features in this update, I think Mojang should add some features. Just throw in a few features just so it's not really boring update. And number 9 is a mini update, but it is the basically a function update, maybe not a full update, but then the B update was a mini update. That was like one up, they only added a few features, it wasn't a huge update. And I think this could be like that adds functions such as tools that can flatten land much easier. Even in a plains biome, it's still, the land has grass and everything and it's not all flat. And if there was a tool where you could just with one click flatten it all, that would be a lot easier. And a tool that you could get in survival, but I think it should be a tool that's hard to get, since you can flatten a whole amount of land with it. And I think the tool should have durability probably, because if you can use it infinitely, that might be a bit OP. Too OP. And that would be making it much easier to build. You wouldn't have to flatten all that land. And even though it can be fun to do it, some people just want to build. But then if you just want to build, you could play creative. But if you want to just build in survival, then that tool would be really helpful. And also Mojang could add tools to make it so you can share worlds with other people, instead of having to download the world, send the world to them, make sure they get the world and everything. You could just share worlds with them. If you have them as a friend, you could go in the friends tab, press a button, press a world, and boom, they now have that world, as long as they agree to take that world, so you don't just spam people's worlds. As funny as that would be, I don't think that would be a good feature. So number 10 is the mushroom biome update, and I know a mushroom biome is a really rare biome. It's not used much. I think the mushroom biome should have the same rarity still, but there should be many types of mushroom biomes, maybe 5 types. And while there's, I forgot what the grass is in mushroom biome, I think there should be loads of different colours grass, like red grass would be really interesting, green grass, and each one should be a different biome, and they should all have the rarity of a mushroom biome, and cool features added to them, mushrooms for each biome, different mushrooms, I think could have different things. Ah yes, now I've remembered, it's mycelium. How did I forget that? Number 11 is the jungle update, and I mentioned the forest update earlier. This would be separate, this would be just for jungles, because I think in the real world jungles are huge and they look really cool, and in Minecraft, as good as they are, they're just not really the same. The jungles should look overgrown, you shouldn't be able to walk through them really easily. Maybe there could be the old jungles and a new jungle. So they could leave jungles the same, but they could have another type of jungles that's completely updated, and then they could have a third type called massive jungles, which is the same as the second type, but it's huge and it goes on for up to 5,000 blocks, so maybe 1,000 to 5,000 blocks. Huge jungles, overgrown and with loads of animals and features. Wouldn't that be cool? Tell me that would not be cool. And number 12 is the customization update. And I think this would be a really interesting update, where you can create your own blocks in vanilla Minecraft. So there's a block which you can use, you click on it and you can create your own blocks. down to every pixel, and you have a list of functions, and you can choose the functions, and so it's not really complicating, and you have to write code and mods to do it, so you can do it really easily on Minecraft. I think that would be a really interesting update. That might also be a mini update like number 9 actually. And coming in at number, well, not coming in, but I didn't rank these from 1 to 14, but number 13 is the Snowy update, where ice and snow are improved with many features, aka the North and South Pole update. And it sounds strange, but wouldn't it be cool to have penguins in Minecraft, Arctic foxes, and all sorts of animals? And for the snow biome, not just to be covered in snow and have some polar bears, and for the ice biome, not just to be ice and have some polar bears, but for them to also have some features that to do with the biome. How cool would that be? I think that would be cool. If you don't think that would be cool, write it in the comments, and we'll have a balanced argument about it. And number 14, the 14th and final one, is the Savannah update. And the Savannah is just a biome. It's got some cool features, but it's just like the forest and other biomes like that. It's decent, but I think it could do with some more features that's specific to the Savannah biome. And I think Minecraft should add that. Mojang should do that. For like loads of biomes, just add features specific to Savannah. And that is it. That is all 14. So thank you for watching this video. And some of them I might even make a separate video about some of these, because it would be interesting just to talk about them and what features I'd want to see in them. I could make a list of features. And thank you for watching this. I'm not sure if Mojang will actually make this for 1.20. It will be very interesting to see what they do. I think it could be the Ender update. It's likely to be the Ender update, I think. Yeah, so that would be interesting. But all these, I think, are good ideas for updates. So I think it would be interesting if Mojang did them. So see you in the next video. Goodbye.